Welcome to Local Legends. I'm with Ronnie, and I've heard about you, met you once at an event, and I knew you were someone because of the aura you had in the room. Lo and behold, Art tells me you're his coach, and he's always talked about you. I just never had the pleasure of meeting you. I met you very casually. I would say we probably had a 1-2 minute conversation. People were actually just pulling you away, and I walked away. Knew about this podcast today. So Art, nicely, thank you, Art, for putting this together. He tells me you gotta interview Ronnie, but I'm like, dude, this guy's a local legend. I have to interview. So thank you so much for your time.
Man, it's pleasure's all mine, man.
You just said something crazy. So you're born in
Frankfurt, Germany. Yep, and I was raised in Honolulu, Hawaii.
and you're
And now I live in California.
okay. See, I thought my story was a little crazy. Just born in Mexico.
And
just
German's
crossed the border over here.
And German's my first language, so we'll just keep it at there.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
So I have to ask you, do you like soccer?
Huh? I love soccer. You already know my team.
Oh,
They've been sucking the last few years, but
we won't talk about
we'll
it.
go. Yeah.
Ronnie, real quick, man. I know you've done a lot of great things for the community. You just actually told me something great about what you do at your church.
Yes.
And how long has that been going? And I got to make sure you elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, it's been over 10 years.
Okay.
It's been about 10 years. Yeah.
Serving
Every Friday night. We have an outreach, a community outreach. So what we do is we give groceries. We have Target, Costco, all the places they donate food. I go pick up the food Friday morning, my truck, bring it back to the church. It gets all sorted out. Then in that afternoon, we put all the tables out. We put the food out. We had shopping carts donated from Trader Joe's. So when the people come, they line up, they get a shopping cart, and then they go to each table and they pick up whatever groceries they need. I'm talking like everything, bread, rice, meat, everything, right? And then when they get through that, they get a hot meal at the end. So we serve about 100 families every Friday.
Where's this at?
This is in Newbury Park, Lighthouse Church, Newbury Park. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I got to check that out.
Yeah, man, anytime.
I got to check that out. We were talking before the camera started rolling, and we have more things in common than what anyone else could think about.
Right.
I was behind the camera because I know you're filming some stuff. But tell me about yourself. How did you get into the fitness industry?
I got into fitness. I grew up as a martial artist. My dad was a Taekwondo instructor, and I grew up fighting. And once jiu-jitsu started becoming popular, my best friend was an all-state wrestler, so I wanted to get better on the ground. So I started, going in the weight room a little bit to get stronger, just in case I end up on the ground.
Okay.
Then in 1994, I went to my first bodybuilding competition. I saw a guy named Sean Ray guest pose. And I was watching it, and under my breath, I said, I want to look like that. Well, there was a gentleman next to me that pretty much snickered and was like, yeah, don't even dream about it. Something like that. That one thing sparked me, right? It was like, I'll show you, even though I didn't know him. But he said that to me. So I went into a gym where all the old school bodybuilders are at, and I just watched. And I just would rack their weights, and I'll pick their brain, finding people to mentor me that I figured that knew what they were doing. Got into it, got into competing in Hawaii, and then I came to California.
So this happened in Hawaii?
Hawaii, yeah. I started my fitness journey in Hawaii. Yeah.
There's a scripture that says you either give life or you give death.
Yeah.
Power of the tongue.
Yeah.
You were so sensitive that inspired you, and it gave you life.
Gave me a huge. And the funny thing was, once I came to California and really competing against the best of the best in California, I was asked to come home for guest appearances. So I remember being at a booth, and this gentleman, there was a line, and this gentleman came up, and he looks familiar. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, I know this guy. And right as he comes up, it's like, boom. I'm like, this is the dude. So he comes up to me, he goes, "Oh, Ronny Camacho, I see you you're doing this." He was like, "Give me so many props, trying to pick my brain." And I start smiling. I said, "You don't remember me, do you?" And he looks at me. And then I told him, I said, 1994, Sean Ray came to guest post. You're sitting next to me. And I said I wanted to look like him. And you said,
Oh,
I never
gosh.
had a chance. And he looked like, uh-oh. But I said, no, we're good. I said, because you inspired me, man. Like, your words brought me here.
How many years after that?
That was 7 years. 7 years after that.
I'll share this real quick. I started in real estate. I'm in a room as studying for my exam. Gentleman walks in and he asked the question, who wants to succeed? We all raise our hand. Who wants to make it happen? Who's going to pass their test? Who's going to be here in the next 10 years? We all raised our hand. He said, statistically, only 2 will make it.
Wow.
And based on the way you guys are dressed, some of you guys aren't even going to make it. I got pissed because I'm thinking he's judging me.
Right.
Now, I'm not describing the person that's in the room, how they look,
Right.
with their mindset.
Right.
I held to that.
Mm-hmm.
I held on to that. It got me pissed. Passed my exam on the first try. Almost 2 or 3 years later, I forgot. Same gentleman's in the office, and I went up to him. I said, I just want to let you know that I'm still here.
Still here.
And I share him the story, and he looks at me, he tells me, if I was to tell you I don't know what you're talking about, would you believe me? I said, but you walked into that room.
Right.
He's like, I would walk there once a week because they would ask me to just go talk.
Wow.
I said, thank you.
That was the fuel, man.
And that's the same
thing.
Very
bro.
similar though.
Yeah.
And I think we have that little understanding of how that feels when
Right.
it's like you turn it, not a negative, but you take it
It's
as a
fire,
positive.
man.
Yeah.
It's like you turn your mindset, and I'm still wired like that. If somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? So that's like even this profession, when you help people get through things
Yeah.
or shows or whatever, I don't understand not being able to do it. Because if you choose to do something and you make a choice to do it, you owe to yourself to follow through. Or it's not really something you want to do, right? So with me, it's like once I lock in, it's done.
You're all in?
Doesn't mean it's always going to be right, but I'll jump in the deep end, and sometimes you make the wrong decisions. That's just life.
you figure it out.
I just go, man.
You just figure it out. So 7 years later,
Yeah.
see this gentleman. What happens after?
Oh man, then I come back to California. I was back into bodybuilding. I was just going up, so to speak, and I got caught up. I made a bad decision, and I had a choice to make. Bodybuilding or my family. Right? So I got derailed. Right? The choice is obvious. Right? So there was always like some unfinished business, but then I just really started focus on training people. Because everybody was coming up to me to train them. So in a sense, I could train, but I could not be involved in the scene. Right? So I train athletes, all sports, you name it, at all levels, whatever sport there was. But I stayed away from bodybuilding because that was a deal that was made. And then in 2016, I was asked to come back by a friend of mine to help out with his team, and then I got the okay from the general, and and then I got back involved, and because I truly love helping people, man,
But it's a commitment you did to your family,
100%.
and it goes back to who you are. You're committed, and you
I had to take ownership, brother. Like,
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, people not taking ownership, man, even though it hurts. Sometimes you have to take ownership when it hurts, but that's how you're gonna grow. And I had the choice between something I absolutely loved and something that I absolutely love more. Right?
But purpose.
Yeah.
You found purpose,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even though you think I'm gonna leave something,
Yeah.
but then you found something even more beautiful.
100%. 100%. And then when I mentor kids, I coach kids, I coach football, track, martial arts, gymnastics,
Oh.
right? I talk at middle schools, I talk at high schools, I talk at colleges. So
So I have to ask, imagine you were just doing that journey and had you not said yes to love, God's plan,
yeah,
then imagine what greater.
I don't
Have you
even.
ever thought about that?
Man,
Or it's just that's it? Or you like me, I just don't think about it.
nah, man, I didn't think about it, man,
Yeah, I love
because
that.
I would get emails. This once you come back, once you this unfinished business, we'll sponsor you. We'll this, we'll that, and I just turned everything off. You know, it was like Control Alt Delete, like it never happened. You know, because for me, in order to go here, I gotta cut everything out.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm going to commit 1,000% to my family, it can't be 999.
No.
Right? Because it's a crazy world, this fitness game, and I know it, so it's better just to stay away from it because it wasn't the right time. Yeah.
Who was the first person you mentored?
Huh?
First person you coached?
Tom Piernick. Tom Piernick's at that time he was about 55 years old. He was like one of my biggest fans competing, and he was crushed that I wasn't competing no more. And he said, "Well, will you train me?" That's how. And then I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And that's how it started, man. And then I've always worked with kids. Like kids was always been, coaching kids, mentoring kids. That's always been something that's always been deep in my heart, always, even to this day. So I have kids that I've had for 20 years. They have families now. Or I still get calls. What should I do, coach? And they're like, I'm like, damn, I hear their kids in the background.
Have you already experienced them being married?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a feeling.
Oh, yeah, man. But I look at it's an honor, man, when a parent trusts you with their child.
Yeah.
Like I have parents that call me to ask my advice for what they should do with Junior or whoever.
Yeah.
Right? And for a father to give that up, right? I look at that as an honor. It's pressure because don't say the wrong thing. But for a parent to trust you in that, and so it's my whole other side of my life that I've been trusted with so many families to do the thing. So the mentoring and like when I do coaching, it's more than reps and sets. The hard part is I get committed. You know what I mean? I'm all in.
I just had a father walk into the office. He wants to do real estate, brings his 19-year-old son, and then he tells me, "Can I just trust you with him?"
Yeah.
And
that's
sure.
huge. Yeah.
And I've already experienced those stories, and I know we could go on and talk about that, but how did you meet Art then?
Whew. Art, we met through Physique Inc.
And I want to make sure we understand it's Arturo Asado and Madhouse Gym.
Yeah. We met here, and I don't know, we just hit it off. Like we just met, but it felt like I knew him.
So you came to Madhouse?
Yeah, we had a meetup here.
Oh.
Physique Inc. had a meetup here.
Okay.
So we came here, we had a meetup here, and then Andrew Walker introduced me to Art. And then me and him just started talking like we knew each other forever. And we just hit it off, man. And then
he's like, off like that, doesn't
100%. And he had his arm around me the first day, and I'm like, I'm from Hawaii, so that's automatic. Like, we're very, we hug a lot, we show a lot of love. So he goes, "Hey, man, anytime my house is your house." And I'm like, this is the first day, I'm like, all right, and lo and behold, we just kept in touch. I start coaching him. He's trying to give me some golf game advice, which I still got to take him up on that, but
he hasn't given me none, so
but,
I'm a little jelly.
You're ahead of me. It's all about not being intimidated, but this guy is good, so it's kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to go out there with Art. I'm not going to poke the bear. Like, put me on the bunny slope. Yeah, but we met, and we just hit it off, and then moving forward, just seeing how this gym has evolved, right? And it's all things he's been saying. Right? It's different than something just happening. But when a person has a game plan or they share their vision with you, don't know how you're going to get there, but share the vision. So seeing this happen, I just laugh because I'm like, this is the stuff that he was talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't know how it's going to happen, his words, but that's what he wanted. So to see this all starting to come too, it's just kind of, it's full circle.
I met him a year and a half ago, and I think in the podcast they brought it up, if I'm not mistaken. I wasn't really aware, and they just pointed to the other wall, like we were on the original
The
Madhouse.
site, yeah.
And so I said, "Oh, okay." Second podcast comes around, I talked about it again. Fast forward, I would probably say maybe a full year. They get the keys, and there was a wall here, and I did a training right over there. A training with art, and then the board's still back there. I was doing a training, and I just geek out. I'm like, and I had to take a picture of that of myself. You got to capture that moment. I felt like, is it Amazon where he's in a garage? And I said, one day I'll look back, and I'm always
Bezos, he was in his little office.
Yes.
Selling, what was he saying? Books at first. He was trying to sell books.
And it was Amazon,
and
right?
a cardboard Amazon
Yes.
box.
And so I wanted to take a picture, and I did a video. And that's all thanks to art, because I know you could understand this. When someone trusts you, like, here are the keys to my business.
100%.
And they just trust you. And I always say, when somebody gives me that, I take it if it's my business.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's a 100 mine. And then I've seen him grow.
100%.
And so now we're sitting here doing a podcast.
I tell him, like, look, man, if someone comes sitting there with me, check with me first. Don't, because they automatically think that it's cool that they just piggyback. Like, no, man.
Yep.
If I don't text you, bro, they're not with me.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's funny because now you're starting your own podcast. It's
Yeah.
called
Ask Ronny. And that kind of came from, I had a client of mine that, being that I've been in the training game so long, I've trained everything. I mean, I've checked all the boxes that you can as a trainer. Celebrity, this, that, yada, yada. Coaching kids, mentoring kids, everything. And I've had the fortune to really have a network of people that are really awesome. And I always talk about them, right? So we're sitting down at lunch, and he goes, you know so many people that are so awesome. You know, how come you don't have a YouTube channel? I'm like, why? I'm like, it's not about me, right? He goes, but you can tell a story. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, but I don't need the people like, Ronny did this, Ronny did that. I'm not that guy, you know? So he goes, well, how many people call your phone a day? How much advice have you given in a year? That's all content. How many people you think that would get help by that if they heard that? And I'm like, so what if you go not thinking about you, but what you can do for others, which you do anyway with your foundation and this and that? And then I was like, okay, you know, so that's kind of where this came from. It's like, okay, the people that I know, I want to tell their story, because entrepreneurship is sexy, so to speak, but everybody just sees the success, right? There's the beginning, there's the success, and there's the squiggly lines, I call it, right? I want to get to know the squiggly lines, because that's where you see where all the adversity, this and that, and I think people can learn from that. People usually see for the start and the ending, but they don't see the in between, which is the squiggly lines, I like to call it. And my thing is, my client was just like, you have to share that, right? I'm sure every single person you told me about would not mind if you try to get their story to inspire, because everybody knows you do inspiration, motivation, you do this. So it's not like you're coming out of left field. They'll just be like, oh yeah, that's Ron doing this. So he goes, I don't even see why there'll be a problem. And that's what started, like, me thinking how I can help other people through anyone's story, right? Because I think that's where you can learn things from, is from people's stories.
Correct.
And their adversity, then how they overcame it, right? Or like you brought up Bezos with having the cardboard sign that said Amazon selling books, and now he's one of the richest people in the world, right? But he believed in himself. So it's no different than anything else. So that's what started to get the Ask Ronny. And the Ask Ronny podcast was because everybody asked me, right? Wow. They call me, they ask me. They call me, they ask me, right? So he goes, just call it Ask Ronny, because everybody asks you. I said, yeah, but I don't know everything. He goes, that's not the point, right? Because what you don't know, I know you will find out. And you can have people on, let's say about something, if people ask you about something that you don't know, you can have a guest on and then speak about it. So indirectly, you're still getting the solution for what they asked for.
Correct.
So I'm like, all right, I guess, you know. And then I put it off. So every year he asked me, so what's up? You know, and it was this year when it was just kind of like full circle, man. Like, all right,
Let's go.
like either you, and I always tell people, you gotta jump, right? You gotta go for it. And I say that when I go speak at schools, right? And then he's like, well, you know, are you gonna practice what you preach? And my wife was the main one that was like, all right, babe, what's up? You know? And then she goes, pray on it, and then go with blind faith. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now.
And here you are sitting down. You didn't know you were going to be interviewed.
I did not know I was going
You
to get
didn't know about
interviewed
this.
today. I had no idea. Art put a fast one on me.
He mentioned it to me, and I was just sitting in the back. And then right now when he brought it up, I'm like, well, if there's time, I'm fine with it. It's an honor to talk to you and speak to you.
It's an honor to be here, man.
There's more. I'm pretty sure.
Unpack. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. A lot of squiggly lines.
I have a saying. I think I should trademark this. Is drama is in the details, and the more detailed you are with people's story or the things that are detailed, such as a Bentley car. Why is it so expensive versus a Honda?
Right.
It's because of all the little details that's involved in that vehicle, and yet we're a vehicle.
Yeah.
And the more detailed we are with ourselves, and yet share that story.
Right.
And so now people are not being impacted.
Right.
Indirectly and directly, but
Right.
we know it's with a good purpose.
Yes.
There's so many things out in social media, so much music,
100%.
movies, and yet, is it really the best message out there for today's youth?
Right. And that's the thing for me too. It's like, you know, people are like, oh, there's so many podcasts, this and that, but that's all good. I always say there's also so many trainers. If you're doing something you're passionate about, it's irrelevant whether someone agrees with it or not. I look at it like this: if you don't agree with it, you just don't have to watch it. But there can be one person that listens to a story about somebody else, and it could change your life, or it could save their life, right? Or it could save them from maybe making a decision about business that they didn't think about, and then someone seasoned will bring something up in the conversation, and this person will not make that mistake that they would have made, right? So to me, it's like, just for that one person, it's worth it.
And that's why you should, if I had met you years ago, I would have just rolled up with the camera and started recording.
Man.
Because that one person that gets impacted in the right way, you just changed their whole
100%,
generations.
man.
And if we could think like that,
Yeah.
then we're going to take action on that.
Yeah.
And then with faith, I'm a big believer that that's
Yeah.
how we impact the world into it being a better place. And
You
I've
know,
heard this so many years ago. They didn't make sense for me back then. It makes a lot of sense to me now. Leave this place better than what you actually than when we were here. And well, when you're in your 20s, when you get a little old and you start maturing a little bit more, and you start valuing time, then I'm start looking at the next generation. I said,
100%.
I need to make sure that I fulfill my purpose. And
Yeah.
so I'm glad you're taking on this.
And especially for me, right? I'm 53. I'm going to be 54, right? So, and
he does
I
not
was-
he does not look 53, by the way.
you know, today actually, I had a person tell me that with my age demographic, to go into podcasting, how many are there? Not in the sense of what I'm trying to do.
No.
Right? Because they're like, ah, man, that tech stuff, you know? And it's a challenge, right? But it's kind of like, I have 53 years of experience in the sense of life. A lot of this, right? So someone can, you know, I have people I can talk to that are 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. So there's a lot of information there for someone listening, right? And I'm going to be interviewing individuals that are amazing, right? In their own right, you know, that have an amazing story. Why? Because I know them. You know, I'm not just going to do any fluff stuff, you know?
And we talked about that.
Yeah, no fluff, no fluff. I want it to be where, whoever's listening gets something out of it.
Yes.
And that's kind of been the vision behind Ask Ronnie, and we'll see what happens, man.
Great things are going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Great things are going to
Yes,
happen.
sir.
And this is why when we started up doing the podcast, there was a name that came up, Local Legends. And we made a decision that day saying, we just don't want to interview people. We want people that are actually impacting people, the community, and they're at the local community, impacting, like they say, it starts with home, starts with your neighbor, starts then impacting the neighborhood, the city, and so on. And so thank you for coming on board with us, Ronnie.
Man, it's my pleasure. I didn't know this was happening, but it was an absolute honor and pleasure.
We got to run it back.
Oh, we are going to run it back a few times, bro.
Yes.
A few times.
Follow Ron. Where can they find you?
Oh, man, RonnyCamacho.com is my website. Writer for Life is my IG handle. And you can DM me. You can say what's up.
There you go.
It's all good. I'm very open. Like, usually when people DM me, I'll respond. And you'll probably catch me at Madhouse a lot. So.
Yeah. Give him a follow.
Yeah.
Ask away. Follow this podcast. Thank you guys for joining.